just an observation I've made, and I think many would agree, regarding the way in which psychopaths and narcissists operate. Many of them seem to have an extreme obsession and interest in areas such as NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and hypnosis, also witchcraft, things like this, things where you can use your own will or power to control other people. They love to talk about it, they love to show off their knowledge in this area. This is often a telling sign. They also assume that everybody else thinks in this way, so if you're having a discussion with someone who's really knowledgeable about hypnosis or NLP or things like this, they are assuming that you're kind of identifying on a level with them that perhaps you're not. They feel that everyone has this same kind of passion for controlling others, because they couldn't imagine a world in which other people would not want to control other people. They just don't understand genuine friendship. That's why there are so many videos made by narcissistic psychopaths on YouTube now. Things like how to think like the rich, or trying to copy patterns of behavior of the rich or successful. How many adverts have we seen before a YouTube video? Something like, the top 10 behaviors of the rich, or how to be successful, self-help books, things like these. These are usually written by psychopaths who themselves were totally unsuccessful. Before you go pointing the finger at me, you should know that I don't try to make any money from this channel. This is purely for me to express my ideas, and my ideas are so controversial and unpopular anyway. I don't think any self-seeking or self-rewarding psychopath would speak in such a frankly honest way that I do. So really there's no benefit in me making these videos for myself, really, other than the reward that I get from being able to express what I believe is the truth. So I'm open to criticism, but I do my best to try and share ideas which many people are not willing to talk about. Back to psychopaths anyway, you'll tend to find there is no independent or creative thinking with them. The psychopath only conceives of a world where they imitate the most useful ideas of others for their own purposes. So imitation is a big player in their game. There's thus a good chance that anyone who tries to give you advice based on their secondary observations of a successful person, like life coaches, things like this, that they themselves are a psychopath. We now have an entire industry of so-called coaches and mentors who have no real expertise of their own. They just merchandise the expertise of other people. For this reason, another telling sign of the psychopath is someone who creates a fake mentor. There are endless copies of self-help books or rags to riches celebrities who talk about how they were inspired or how they learned their craft from a mentor. And they always blow this mentor up into being some great or prestigious person, which, if the psychopath had not themselves need of doing so, we've probably never heard of this person ever. I think F. Scott Fitzgerald, when he wrote The Great Gatsby, was aware of this phenomenon, since the narcissist Gatsby is established by a mentor, Meyer Wolfsheim, whom we know to be based on the Jewish gangster Arnold Rothstein. In other words, Gatsby the narcissist is a crook and obtains validity through his mentor, who is also a crook. In this way, narcissists operate something of a Ponzi scheme of recommendations, whereby they inflate the importance of their mentor in order to inflate their own importance, but both them and the mentor are usually nonsense individuals. Moreover, the function of the mentor also creates the illusion of validity for the psychopath's ideas in business, as if what they are teaching is legitimate because the information has come from a trustworthy source. So they must inflate or simply create the importance of a mentor as a secondary buffer of defense of their own con game, and to validate the fact that in most cases these psychopaths have never had a real job or been to university, since hard work is out of the question for them. If we dig a little further into the differences between the narcissistic mind and the truly educated mind, the very notion of using a mentor in itself kind of gives away the game, since the educated or cultured mind usually works by appeals to reason and persuasiveness of argument, but the narcissist mind only sees things on the surface, so they only think in terms of outward reputation and recommendations, believing that everyone else can be fooled by these superficial scams also. Psychopaths will thus often claim that they were studying for a prestigious degree such as law or medicine, but dropped out and they never graduated. Obviously this acts as a cover for their lack of certification, but still gives them a bit of power, because it makes you think, oh wow, they got accepted to law, they got accepted to medicine, but they were never accepted at all. Deeper inquisition about their studies and past history will usually expose this to discerning parties. Be warned, however, they are usually extremely crafty and will have done as much research as possible to seem fairly knowledgeable in their alleged area of study. If they claim to be a doctor, they will have probably read some medical books to cover their past, or if they claim to be a lawyer, they will probably have acquired a knowledge of the law from either jail time or friends who are criminals, so don't expect their fake persona to be obvious upon first glance.